The Thompson family's story began in the late 1800s when Henry Thompson, a hard-working and ambitious man, bought the farm with dreams of prosperity and a peaceful life. Henry married Martha, a kind and gentle woman, and they had 3 children: Tommy, the youngest, and his 2 older sisters, Clara and Alice. The Thompsons were a close-knit family, and for many years they lived happily on the farm. The farm flourished, and the Thompsons were well regarded in the community. However, their idyllic life took a dark turn when Tommy, at just 5 years old, accidentally drowned in the farm's well. The tragedy struck the family deeply, but no one was more affected than Henry. He blamed himself for Tommy's death, believing he had failed to protect his son. Henry's grief quickly turned into obsession. He began hearing Tommy's voice, crying for help and calling out for his father. Henry became convinced that Tommy's spirit was trapped in the well, and that the only way to free him was through a ritual that required the lives of his loved ones. His mind, already fragile from grief, fractured completely under the weight of guilt and desperation. Martha noticed the changes in her husband. He became withdrawn, spending hours by the well, talking to the air. At night he would wake up screaming, drenched in sweat, claiming Tommy was calling him. The once loving and attentive father and husband was now a shadow of his former self. Henry's paranoia grew. He started believing that the entire farm was cursed, and that Tommy's spirit would never find peace unless drastic measures were taken. Martha tried to help her husband, but her attempts were in vain. Henry's mind was too far gone, consumed by the voices and visions that haunted him. One fateful night, Henry decided it was time to perform the ritual. He believed that by sacrificing his family, he could bring Tommy back and end the curse. Under the cover of darkness, he crept into his daughter's room. Clara and Alice, sensing something was wrong, tried to escape, but Henry overpowered them, ending their lives with a heavy heart and shaking hands. He then went to Martha, who woke to find her husband standing over her with a wild look in his eyes. She pleaded with him, but Henry, driven by madness, silenced her cries forever. With his family gone, Henry went to the well, expecting Tommy's spirit to appear and thank him. But the well remained silent. Realizing the horror of what he had done, Henry was overcome with despair. The voices in his head mocked him, taunting him with the futility of his actions. In his final act of madness, Henry threw himself into the well, joining his son in death.